One of my favorite builds in the entire game, hands down, is a Crackshot loadout with a weapon that never has to reload. It is one of my most popular Fun 160s loadouts to date, and for a good reason. I have made more Crackshot videos than I can plug on screen. They'll be linked down below, rest assured. Now, that was with the Storm King Scourge, and for some reason, I have never considered running this with the Storm King's Onslaught. I mean, it's just sitting right there. It never has to reload. It's a mythic Storm King weapon. It has all the best perks, double crit damage, crit rating, you got an extra damage perk, and it literally has AIMBOT that goes straight for the head. It is a perfect replacement to the Storm King Scourge for a different alternative to running this build. So we got the same deal just as usual. We got Crackshot in the lead, totally rocking out. That is better than Beetlejuice in the lead, by the way. I have done the math with Sledgehammer versus Crackshot, and this is just me stripping off all the damage bonuses just to get down to the base damage of the weapon itself, and then multiplying that in really nerdy way. Basically, the DPS number is all you care about. Sledge in the lead is just down here. It's less than Crackshot. So that's kind of it. I'm assuming that math translates to Beetlejuice, so I'm running her in support just to buff it by 75%, the crit damage that is, hip shot from Ranger Deadeye, and then this is a testament to me for getting my own loadout. This is why I make videos. Half the reason is for your guys' entertainment, and the other reason is because I forget what I run. Now, Extraterrestrial Rio is a pretty good hero. She gives you a 20% damage bonus to that base damage. You might have noticed in that math, she's actually a lot less than you'd think. It's very insignificant, but I also don't think my shields will be full all the time. The real hero you want to use in a Crackshot build is Bulletstorm Jonesy. He stacks just alongside Crackshot, gets you up to a 25% constant damage bonus and support. It's a good build. I'm very satisfied. I also want to explain that I'm using Fumble here instead of Wafers, because if you ever switch off your weapon, you will lose all your stacks. If you stop and build, you'll lose all your stacks, and shielders will be a problem. So I'm hoping my teammates can back me up here. Either way, let's hop in game and check out Storm King's Onslaught with Crackshot. All right, so this is before any stacks. We're just getting warmed up. That's actually a lot of damage. You guys are not going to believe this, but breaking news, the Storm King's Onslaught, one of the 5 mythic weapons in the game, is actually pretty strong. No, seriously, it is. Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Where'd it go? What the hell? The Smasher's hiding from... Oh, crap. Uh-oh, wrong rock, wrong rock. All right, we got it. Let's go. Going after it. Oh, wow. That's actually some really good damage. That's a lot of 200,000 hits right there. That is good, and it's only going to get better. The more I shoot, the more it's going to stack up, the stronger it's going to get. What are we at already? We can pull up the stats right here and see that we're doing 63,000 per shot. Our DPS is over 400,000 now. Oh, I think we capped it. Let's see right here. Yeah, okay. It actually went less. So I think what happened was Totally Rockin' Out might have been active. I'm not sure. We should be at max stacks now, though. So let's go up against a nice little Mist monster. Easy damage. I love the tracking. I haven't used the Onslaught since it first came out. Link to my best perks video if you guys want to check it out. It is really fun. See, my best perks videos are a more informational version of like what has become the Fun 160s, where I showed a lot of gameplay that was unrelated to the perks, really. I just wanted to show off new weapons that came around, and so that's just more gameplay from way back then if you guys want to see my first reactions, because one of the things that's interesting is that it's not just a headshot. Let's try that a third time. One of the things that's interesting with this weapon is that it's not just an aimbot, but it's an aimbot to the head. So you're not 100% of the time going to be hitting head. Oh no, overheated. No, that's okay. We'll get back up to 50 stacks, no problem. But one of the things that, not again, is that it goes for the head. So you'll be hitting a lot of extra headshots, which means even though I'm normally doing, let's see here, we're normally doing 49,000, we're really doing more like 74,000 going up and up and up. So it's a deceptively high damage amount. Wow, what a smooth recording, first try. Oh no, a crowd of enemies is chasing me. Whatever shall I do? I'll just start shooting. Okay, I gotta pay attention to that cooling rate because I don't want any damage perks wasted on like coolant for this weapon. I might have recommended that back in the day, and that is a nice recommendation. But with a build like this, we are capping out damage as far as it will go. So I really want to just keep an eye on the cooling and make sure that I'm not ruining my bonuses here. Well, goodbye damage stacks. Are you doing this with a Storm King's Wrath? What sort of crazy person would do a target practice with the Storm King's Wrath? Are you kidding me? All right, the defense begins. Yes, totally not recording this a second time because I died. That is not the truth. But something to take note of this weapon is the projectile moves kind of slow. So you kind of don't want to spam it as much as you possibly can, because what will happen is you'll shoot 3 bullets going towards an enemy that only needed to die from 1 or 2, and you end up wasting your ammo. And you can aim in for a longer range shot. That projectile is slower, and it will impact your total damage output, but it could be a lot more efficient just for some range fighting. But you can see against these basic targets, it's super easy, barely an inconvenience. Pick up that football. How well does it do against range? That's actually really good damage too. That's honestly really good. Can somebody put down campfires or healing by me? My teammates are running support because I can't heal. Okay, adrenaline rush. I keep it for a reason, mostly for teammates, but I think I'm going to be dying more than any of my teammates. Yeah, and she's been running support for me for a while. It's very, very helpful. This is also a nice little area, by the way. This is a ramp right here going down, and then like kind of to our objective, but not really. I just didn't want to be falling in this pit the entire time, so I walled it over, floored it over, I should say, just so I can say, oh, damn, that damage is so good. And modifying your terrain can be really good. I actually had to clear out a lot of the area in this defense because there were fences and stuff that were impacting my ability to hit my targets. So I cleared it all out, and I really prepped the area for this weapon. It is performing insanely well. The weapon, the Onslaught is a weapon that people a lot of times don't like, and I hear the same complaints that because it's aimbot, you kind of can't control it. You can't be super precise about where the weapon targets. Like, I could normally stop that enemy anytime, but because of the way this weapon functions, it can't really do that. What can also happen is you can't shoot through riot huskies. The projectile is not big enough for that in my memory. And it can create a weapon that's really, really strong sometimes. Like right now, it's basically an SMG. You can see I'm going to lock down this entire thing, just firing slow and saving my ammo. I mean, this is going to be completely fine. I'm getting help from my teammates unnecessarily, but what can happen is the weapon's really, really strong, but then also kind of bad in certain circumstances. So it's a little bit harder to control. I think with this build, I believe the Storm King Scourge is kind of just the better option, but you know, that's why I started with that. That's why I use it universally. But the Onslaught's really, really good. I lost track of my energy right there, but it doesn't seem to be too big of a deal. You can just get it all right back. It shoots super fast, and it's really not a big deal. This is honestly so strong. I love this. Storm King's Onslaught. Why didn't I do this sooner? Why did I forget about this weapon? I've been making an effort to post more Storm King weapons on my channel. These Fun 160s, I have not covered every Storm King weapon. Actually, as of recording, I haven't done that, but I have made a video on the Ravager and the Fury. Those should be out on the channel by the time you guys are seeing this. The Scourge has been covered, and I've covered the Wrath many times, like in that target practice earlier. I did triple crit damage Wrath. I did Wrath only 160s, so I think this is actually the very last mythic weapon to be represented in my Fun Loadout series. So, cool. Good job, Onslaught. You finally did it. You finally made your way into a video. I love these Crackshot builds so much. I think it's the perfect way to introduce this weapon to the series. And honestly, if you guys use that Crackshot build, or in general, most of my videos are centered around giving you something to watch while you eat, and at the same time, I'm recommending a build that you might not have considered. I feel like the perfect day for a Beast viewer is somebody who's waking up in the morning, eating some food, maybe on a weekend, and you're just warming up for the day. You watch my video recommending a fun loadout. First thing you do when the meal's complete is load up, save the world, and give it a try, and hopefully have a really fun time with it. And this is a perfect loadout for that. Just something you guys can go ahead and try out and enjoy if you are interested. But totally rocking out active. What am I getting here? I'm getting an 83% chance to crit, a 420% crit damage, nice, and just under 95,000 damage to the head. That's with Rock and Riff active, so that's not normal numbers, but like totally rocking out is really, really doing a lot for this build, and it shows. Oh yeah, some easy mist monsters over here. This is where I consider damage to mist monsters instead of like extra damage, but you can see that it's hardly noticeable. Everything dies so fast it doesn't even matter. It's ridiculous. And I kind of love that Crackshot of all things is like kind of the best lead for this pistol. You would imagine that Beetlejuice would be the better than one in the lead. I showed the math earlier. I didn't really break it down because I didn't want this video to get too far into it, but that's kind of what happens is when you strip off all the damage bonuses and you multiply everything correctly, because the in-game DPS sheet is not really accurate. Like, let me show you something. So the in-game DPS sheet actually takes into account your energy perk. So if I show any weapon, the 38,000 you're seeing on this Nocturnal might be coming from Crackshot, but it's also factoring the 20% from the fire rate, and it'll be the element, I'm sorry, and it'll be showing any 30% damage bonuses that you might have from the perks. And if you have a soldier in your support, that will also be showing up on the sheet. So what you're ending up with is a number that, oh yes. Oh yes. Can somebody pop a war cry? This is a beautiful mini boss. Something with no element, so I'm doing my full 100% damage. It's not, well, it is tank, but it's not like, you know, smoke screen or trap vulnerable. It's a mini boss that I can actually interact with. This is amazing. I wonder if shooting slower is a more consistent DPS, because I don't want to keep running out my, you know, like I'm shooting a lot right here and then just sort of stopping, and I don't know if that's the best way to do that. I don't know if anybody has a war cry, but it doesn't really seem to matter. I don't like this buggy projectile, by the way. I want to make it stated for the record that if you guys are watching this video in the future, this build loadout might, damn it. I ruined it. This build might actually be a lot stronger in the future once they patch that, because as you can see, it's just shooting nothing sometimes. I don't know how long that bug's been in the game. Probably a while, because it doesn't feel new to me. I think I've heard about this bug getting reported before, but either way, it should be stronger in the future when the weapon's actually firing properly. But yeah, look at that. No crowd clearing on this. That's another one that makes the Scourge kind of a lot better in this case, but no crowd clearing. So yeah, going back to that build earlier though, when you do all the math correctly, not trusting the in-game sheet damage and really sussing it out, it is more damage to use Crackshot in the lead when you're fully stacked up. Now that's an interesting point to make, because when you're not fully stacked out, Sledge will be probably more damage for the first 40 shots or so. It's only when Crackshot stacks up to a certain critical mass that he gives you a sufficient enough damage bonus to be the clear winner for the commander spot. So yeah, technically speaking, Beetlejuice is probably better in the commander slot normally. That way you can switch off this build and switch to a Baron, maybe stop and build if you need to, or pull out a Xenon Bow or whatever you need to take out a shielder, maybe a launcher like the Santa's Little Helper. Link to that video down below. A little triple crit damage action, yeah. Random plug, but it's true. Santa's Little Helper is fantastic for killing shielders, and allowing that flexibility makes Beetlejuice a much better commander spot. But you guys know I love Crackshot. This is just a fun build. It's not meant to be a serious one, and in that instance, I think it's perfect to just stack it up as much as possible, keep the one weapon you're using, and just do all the damage. So much extra damage. This build is so freaking fun. I love it. It's not going to be a two-part video though, so if you guys ever want to see any more Onslaught footage, maybe a different build or running it a different way, you guys can comment down below. Any suggestions are welcome. If you guys enjoy this video, you should subscribe. I also record all these videos on stream, which is really, really fun. So Twitch link down below if you're interested. I thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed your food. And if you're not done with your food, then you should click one of those recommended videos at the end. Yeah, goodbye. And then